So there's a blend called Meritage, right? And this is what people make when they're making a Bordeaux blend, but not in Bordeaux. They're using those classic Bordeaux grapes of Cab Franc, Cab Sauv, Merlot, Petit Verdot, Carmenere. But what's really cool is what's emerging here in the Finger Lakes with what is a blend of Cabernet Franc and Lemberger. And not only do these two grapes work really well together, they sort of bring together both culturally and geologically and idea-wise some of the wines that come from Europe in a true Finger Lakes unique blend. So Cabernet Franc, which typically comes from northern France, it's grown in Bordeaux, it's a classic French varietal, the Loire Valley, and Lemberger, which stems from Austria, and in Austria is known as Blaufränkisch. Now, Cab Franc often shows this like green bell pepper note combined with some additional fruit notes. And Lemberger is famous for its black pepper. And I think that these kind of pepper spicy notes go so well with their underlying bases of fruit. And they also ripen very similarly to each other. And it makes it a natural pairing for us to make here in the Finger Lakes. And I think it is really kind of the authentic Finger Lakes blend of red varietals. So let's go ahead and taste it. It's interesting because Lemberger has so many different names. I mentioned you've got, excuse me, Blaufränkisch, I think Keckfränkisch. The master somms out there will be able to school me on that. All I know is I like it. It grows well in the Finger Lakes. And as a blend, it works really well with Cab Franc. So we can see we've got this really beautiful, bright, kind of ruby red color to this wine. We aged all of this in barrel. It stayed in barrel for about 18 months. It was blended into bottle, and then it was held in bottle for about a year before release. I mean, on the nose, it's super apparent. That black pepper comes out, but it's not a sharp or hot. It just smells like an exotic spice mix. And combined with that, I'm almost getting a little bit of like cardamom, a little bit of nutmeg. And that's underlined by a base of red fruit. I'm really going to things that have deeper berry flavors, like overripe blueberry. If you've ever been to Montana, huckleberry, some really ripe boysenberry. And I think the berries make sense because berries extend this, they still have some really nice acid in the fruit, and particularly the boysenberry. That seems extremely potent on this wine. So I'd have to say that on the palate, those flavors extend. The acid is a little brighter than you would expect, but not in a bad way. This wine is coming along really well in age. That brightness pairs really great with beef stew, beef bourguignon, anything that's got a rich texture to it. It also will mellow out in time. I haven't planted Lemberger. It's something that we've thought a lot about. These varietals actually come from Jeff Morris, 10 miles down the road. The Lemberger comes from Nut Road Vineyard, which is right across from Anthony Road Winery. I can see this being a blend that in the future is a dominant part of a lot of Finger Lakes wineries' programs, in part because they grow so similarly, they make a beautiful wine, and I think in the riper years, they'll make a big wine. In less ripe years, they make a very classic, fresh Finger Lakes red blend.